Welcome to Rajendra Tandon videos. We are taking up Bhagavad Gita Chapter 7, Jnana Vijnana Yoga, the yoga of knowledge and realization of God. The issue is, what is God? What is His manifestation? In the preceding chapter, Krishna had talked of samadhi, meditation, to bring peace of mind and reach God. But the question is, what is God? Who is God? What is His manifestation? In this chapter, he explains that whatever exists is nothing but Himself. He is the cause of the appearance of the universe and all things in it. Everything is strung on Him like clusters of gems on a string. He is the essence, substance and substratum of everything, whether visible or invisible. Although everything is in Him, yet He transcends everything as the actionless self. This particular chapter and the verses therein beautifully bring out the essence of God. He is not somebody sitting in a golden throne in the skies and directing the universe. He is a part of us. He is a part of our being. And that is what we have to realize. When the Upanishads said, Tat Tvam Asi, thou art Him, the reverse is, He is thou. We are all God. We are all His manifestations. And that is what is brought out in this particular chapter in words which are so clear, so transparent. Knowledge of God can be attained through attaching the mind to God, practicing samadhi as directed in chapter 6, and total surrender to God. In the very first stanza, Krishna says, Samagra Gyan, complete knowledge of Bhagavan, is inherent in love. Mind you, He wants us to love mankind, to be kind to each other, and that is where God lies. Firstly, Krishna says that God has a material nature. We live in this earth, we live on this earth. Everything is material. The spiritual lies in our brain, in our consciousness. And the physical manifestation of the world as narrated in Shloka 4 is earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intellect and ego. This eightfold division of material world represents God in His material sense. Simple to understand, nothing difficult. Kan kan mein Bhagavan. He is there in everything. You have just to know and understand. But then he says, the world is not merely matter. There is a Jiva Shakti. That is the nature of consciousness. There is soul, there is Atma, and that is superior. Superior to the material nature is the consciousness. The soul, which is life itself, he says. That comes in 5th shloka. Jeev bhutam mahabaho yayetam dharyate jagata. It is the soul, it is the consciousness which is life, not just the material aspect. The material aspect comes later, it is inferior to the aspect of soul. So God is material as well as the consciousness, and the consciousness is superior to the material world. If we understand God that way, it's easy to understand God. The analysis is perfect. And then in 6th shloka, Krishna says, in God, the universe is born. In God, it is destroyed. Here again, I would insist, it does not mean that somebody sitting upstairs is creating and destroying. The process is automatic. Where it started, a lot of speculation is there, but nobody knows for definite. But as it is, the creation and destruction are all in the hands of somebody else. Human beings might be the weapons, the means to kill people and also to create human beings. But it is the Creator, the Destroyer. He is the support of all and He is supreme. And there in Shloka 7, Krishna says, nothing whatsoever is superior to me. Everything rests on me like pearls strung on a thread. What a simile. Pearls sprung on a thread. How beautiful it is. Krishna emphasizes that God, the essence of God, is the best in everything. That is the soul thereof, like the light of the sun. From a long distance, sun gives us light and heat. And that is the essence of sun as we understand it. We have not gone near, we would be burnt alive, roasted. And in text 8, Krishna says, it's a remarkable thought. Listen to it carefully. Raso aham apasu kaunteya prabhasmi sashi suryayo pranava sarva vedeshu shabda khe paurusham nrishu. I am the taste in water. I am the shine in the moon. I am the light in the sun. I am Om in the Vedas. I am the sound in ether. And I am Paurusham, the determination of humanity to achieve. If there was no Paurush in mankind, nothing could have been achieved. We are always trying to better ourselves, to move on from one victory to another. And that is what the world requires, and that is what has made the world what it is today. What was there 5,000 years ago, today there is much more. And maybe after a few thousand years there will be totally different aspect of human beings and animals and mankind. That is due to Paurush. And that is what Krishna says, I am the Paurush. I am the humanity's drive to achieve. And then in 9 he says, Punyo gandha prithivyam cha tejas swami vibhabhasavu Jivam sarva bhuteshu tapaswami tapasvisu. I am the fragrance in the earth. You must have experienced that fragrance after the rains or as the rains start. I am the light in fire. I am the life in all the living things. And I am the austerity in the ascetics, in the Vairagya, people who practice Vairagya, who have given up earthly pleasures. Their austerity is also God. So if you analyze it carefully, all the qualities of man and nature have been called a manifestation of God. If we understand this very simple thing, we would be happy. Because then we won't harm anybody, rather we'll enjoy what is available to us, whether in nature or in human company. And then he says in 10th shloka, Bijam ma sarva bhutanam vidhi partha sanatanam buddhir matam asmi tejas tejasvi namaham. I am the seed of all beings. I am the wisdom of the wise. I am the splendour of the splendid. Tejas tejasvi nam aham. So all manifestation of greatness, of glory, is God. These are manifestations of the qualities of God. So these are God. And so long as we don't have desire and attachment, we get a strength which is also God, as laid down in the 11th verse. And I am love that is righteous. Amen. Think of it. Again and again this thought comes. God is love. God is kindness. God is goodness. And then in the 12th shloka, Krishna introduces the concept of sattvic, rajas, tamas. These are the three gunas which motivate human beings to act. The pure are sattvic, the selfish are rajas, and the evil are tamas. He says, everything comes from me, but I am not polluted by them. And you should avoid everything except sattvic. Here and there are comments that those who do not surrender to God are fools. A very interesting comment is made in 16th verse, that people worship God for 4 reasons. They are in distress. भगवान मेरा भला करो, मैं बहुत तकलीफ में हूँ. They seek wealth. परमात्मा मैं गरीब हूँ, मुझे पैसा दो. मैं अमीर हूँ, मुझे और पैसा दो. मुकेश अंबानी बना दो, बिल गेट्स बना दो. Then there are people who are inquisitive. They want to know. They are the students. They are research workers. They are also looking for God. And the knowledgeable. Those who are jnani, they have attained knowledge. And Krishna says the best among these people are those who are lost in contemplation of God, because they are always united with Him in devotion. He is kind to them. He looks after them. He is one, he says in 18, with the devotees who are self-realized. But he says such souls are rare. It's very difficult to come across them. A lot of people, mind you, it is as modern as it can be, are engaged in various religious rituals. This is text 20. They take refuge in several gods. He says, there is no need for this. Have faith in your God, whoever he is. Stick to your faith. This is Shloka 21. Yo yo ya ya tanum bhakta Shraddhaya architum ichhati tasya tasya chalam shraddha tamev vidhamyaham. Whoever desires to faithfully worship his God, whichever one is, Krishna says, I grant him that conviction. Now this is fantastic. No one religion is a property of God. All religions talk of God. They are all welcome, so long as evil ways are not followed. This was written quite a few thousand years ago. You can have your own faith, different countries, different religions, different gods, does not matter. But so long as the pursuit of goodness is there, human beings would be happy, not otherwise. Because, according to text 22, ultimately God is one. And that he says, I am me, because he is speaking as God. The ignorant may be aware, but they have to be made aware. The ignorant may be unaware, but they have to be made aware. And God, again, there are certain qualities mentioned. He is birthless, he is eternal. He is ajam, he is avyam. He knows the past, present and the future, nobody else knows. Leaving this aside, we come to another gem in this chapter, in 28. Those who act pious, noble act deeds, who have discarded evil in their nature, who have realized that they and God are one, they are liberated from the delusion of duality. These are the people who are blessed, who are the real devotees, who have understood God. There is a mention at the end of the chapter that even at the time of death, if you think of God, you would attain to God. But leaving that aside, the basic message in chapter 7 is God is everywhere. He has a material nature as well as the superconsciousness nature. The superconscious nature is better to the material nature, is better than the material nature. In God the universe is born. In God the universe is destroyed. He is the seed of all beings, the wisdom of the wise, the splendor of the Tejasvis. And he is beyond the three gunas, Sattvic, Rajas and Tamas, which motivate mankind. You may worship him for different reasons, knowledge, wealth, power, but those are the best who worship God by way of bhakti born out of knowledge. It matters not in which faith you worship God, as long as you do so without illusion and selfish motives. God is one for everyone. This was a statement made by Krishna. If you believe in God, He is one for everyone. He is birthless and eternal. So, summing up, act pious, give up evil thoughts and deeds, shun desire and hatred, and you will shake hands with God. Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Sri Krishna.